Today only, I made over $12,000. And in the last 24 hours, I made over $16,000. And by the end of this video, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna tell you the exact strategy on how I've been able to do this for over 4 years. But before we get into all that, I wanna show you exactly why you should believe me, because there's a lot of cappers, there's a lot of fools out there, but I'm not one of them. So let me show you my live account. And like I said, guys, if you guys don't believe me, I can refresh this, no problem. There we go. Is it gonna be the same amount? And as always, it is. Now, in every single video, I'm gonna be giving away $300. That's $100 to 3 people. All you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe, and show me proof in the Instagram DMs. Instagram link down below. Now, without further ado, let's get right into exactly how I do this every single day. And the way I'm gonna be doing this is with 3 small things. First of all, creating our daily bias. Second of all, is our lower time frame entry confirmation. And third of all is how you gain access to the indicator, to my free indicator. For step number 1, like I said, we're going to be creating our daily bias, which is basically choosing or just finding out what the trend is. So if the trend is bears, we're going to be looking for sells. As always, we're going to be starting off with the dailies. And here we can see that the daily is creating higher highs and higher lows. How do we know that? That's because we have a high, we have a low. Right after that, we get a new high, a new low, higher than the previous one. And then right after that, a new high and a new low higher than the previous ones. You see higher high and higher low. Now, when we step into the 4-hour, see the exact same thing, meaning higher highs and higher lows being created. And we're not going to be touching this pair for that day because the trend is not set yet. It's not clear. Okay, so here we have a high, we have a low. Right after that, we have a higher high than the previous one and a higher low than the previous one. Right after that, we have the exact same thing in higher high than the previous one and the higher low than the previous one, and so on and so forth. And because the latest high and the latest low are higher than its previous high and its previous low, then we can clearly see that the trend in the 4-hour is bullish. The exact same thing as what was happening with the daily. So for this case scenario right here, the trend is bullish. So when we step down in the 1 minute, we're going to be looking for buys. On the other hand, for this example, we can see that clearly the daily had a high, then it had a low. And right after that, it has a lower low and a lower high right here. And right after that, a lower low and a lower high. And right after, a lower low and a lower high, making it so that the daily is bearish, creating lower lows and lower highs. So when we step down to the 4-hour, we're going to be looking for the exact same thing. And if we don't get the same thing, then we're not going to touch this pair. Now, of course, if we see other pairs that are creating the exact same bias, then we can touch that. But if we don't see anything for that day, then we just don't trade. There's no need to trade when the trend has not been set yet, when the trend is not clear yet. Moving on to the 4-hour right here, we can see that there was a low high. Right after that, a higher high gets created, a higher low gets created. And then right after that, we get a higher high and a higher low, making it so that the 4-hour is bullish. Now you may ask, what do I do when the 4-hour is bullish and the daily is bearish? And I just told you, you don't do anything, nothing at all. What we want to see, it was what was happening right here. We want the trend to be clear. If the trend is not clear, like right here, then we don't do anything. Now, before we get into step number 2, I want to show you guys exactly how to claim access to the free indicator, which is the indicator that shows you the predicted highs and the predicted lows. It shows you the ranges, which we're going to need if you want to trade the way I trade. Of course, you guys can go ahead and draw the predicted highs and predicted lows if you want to manually, but it makes no sense. This is literally just a shortcut, right? That's it. It's the exact same thing. You guys get to trade with my eyes. Now, to gain free access, all you have to do, guys, is tap the link at the top of the description. And then to claim access to the indicator right after, you just go to the indicator access channel in the WAP that you just claim access to for free. And right after that, you put your trading username right here and you tap on claim indicators. And then that's it, guys. You have the indicator. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get right into step number 2. Now for this, it's 4 small moves. Move number 1, move number 2, move number 3, and move number 4. Very, very simple, guys. Let's start up with move number 1. Now here, we're going to assume, okay, that our daily bias is bullish. So when we look at the 1 minute, which is what we're doing right now, we're going to be looking at buys because we're going to be following the higher time frame bias, the higher time frame trend. So here we go. So right here, we were creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. You can see it. There's 4 breaks to the downside, 4 bearish ranges. So because we're looking for buys, guys, we want the exact same thing that's happening in the higher time frames, which is breakups, which is bullish ranges, which is higher highs and higher lows being created. Sorry. So then we had this low and this has high, and we weren't doing anything. We were just waiting for there to be a higher high and a higher low to be created, which is what happened right here. We hit get the high and a low being higher than the previous ones. And that is move number one. That's what we have to wait. Step number one. Move number two is waiting for price to come back inside of our range. Now, the range is from the new higher high that got created and the new higher low that got created. The previous range, guys, was from this low and this high. Then after those two get broken and new get created, we go into the newer range. And that's why you guys need the indicator, because you guys can see it shows you the range. Price doesn't come back into our range up until right here. So that is what we were waiting for. That's the second small move, is for price to come back into our range. Move number three is setting our orders. And what type of orders, you may ask? We're going to be using a stop order, not a market, not a limit, because we want to see momentum. I want to see price go up. If price doesn't show me momentum, it just fizzles to the side, creating a loss right after or an immediate loss. So if we were to enter, let's say, market right when price comes into our range, then it would be a loss right away, or we would have many losses. We're going to be setting our stop order right at the predicted high and the stop loss of that order right at the predicted low. And last but not least, how to take profit. We're going to be targeting at least a 1 to 2, if not a 1 to 3. And to go break even, we just need a new range to be created outside of our entry, outside of our stop loss, basically. So not here, right here. This is where we would go break even, because we get a new range, a new high and a new low outside of our entry. And that's it, guys. That's the full-on strategy. Now, I'm going to show you guys real-life examples, which is basically the trade that I had today that made me over $12,000 on the S&P. I longed it because the bias was bullish. But before I get into all that, I want to ask you guys, if you're liking this and if you want my free course, to just hit the like and also tap the first link in the description. It's going to give you access to my free course and show you everything you need to know to start trading. It's literally the straight path into profitability. And it's better than 99% of the paid courses out there, but I give it to you for completely free. So let's start off with the daily. We can clearly see that the latest break is bullish. And if you don't see it clearly, then let me show you. So we have the low, we have the high. Currently, we had this break right here. So we created a new higher high and a new higher low. Now in the 4 hour, let's look for the exact same thing. And you can see clearly that we had, and now we have higher high and new higher low. Previous higher than the previous one, both of them. So here we are in the 1 minute. And what can we see? We have a low and a high. Right after that, we get a new higher high and new higher low being created. Now, here we do get a perfect entry, but I wasn't looking at the charts just then, so I missed this one. So right after that, I just waited for another break and another retest of the actual range. And then I put my order. So you guys can see it right here. We get a new break, but we don't have a test of the area just yet. So then we get our retest right there at the current predicted low, and we let it run. Now, let's see if we go break when we go break even. No new range being created, so no break even. And right here, we get a new range, but the low is inside of our entry, so we didn't go break even at all. And the TP was at a 1 to 4, which was hit right there. And that's how we made the $12,000 you guys saw at the beginning of the video. And that's really the whole strategy, guys, the whole blueprint, step by step. And if you want to see more trade breakdowns, then I'm going to have a playlist somewhere here on the screen. Make sure to click that, because you need to learn. You need to see it in the flesh, it happening every single day. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Peace out.